In this episode, we tour an amazing home in the sought-after neighborhood of Willow Point, and we get to spend time with the super cool John and Nancy Hodges, who both work and live on Lake Martin. Well, you know how it is. When they find their lake house, they are ready to move in.
Yes.
Does it take longer to get financing at the lake than, say, in the city?
Yeah, that's a great question. No, we've closed loans very, very quickly together, and really it's the same process as you would your primary residence, whether it's in Birmingham or Peachtree City or whatever city you're coming from. If you've closed a primary residence before, it's really the same process. We call it our three-step process. Call me, we'll get pre-approved, find the perfect home with Paige, and then we're going to underwriting and closing. So it's really a three-step process, 3 to 5 weeks, just depending on all the elements involved. But it can be that quick.
Awesome. Thanks.
Okay, Bill, thank you. Goal achieved. I am here on the first day of construction on a new build. Tell us what is going on in Parker Creek.
Well, Paige, today what we're doing is taking down the 2 or 3 trees that were approved by the ARC to take down. Then the rest of this week and the first part of next week, we'll get the foundation dug. Then we'll be ready for footings.
Sounds good. So when we're back next month, we're going to see a whole new scene, right?
That's right. We'll have the foundation in, and with a little bit of good weather, we may even have some carpenters here framing. So we just look forward to everybody following us over the next 3 or 4 months and just watching our progress. Thanks for watching today.
You know, everyone has a different motivation of moving to Lake Martin. Part-time, move here because it's a slow, easy pace living, raise your family like we are, retire like you thought maybe that was your plan, and then more times than not, you have people who want or think they're going to retire but then continue working. And this home, which you will see in our real estate segment today, allows John and his lovely wife Nancy to really work and live in the same place. So tell us what you do now, John.
Well, it's a kind of little story. It started back in 1998, and I had my first trip to Southern Africa. And then since then, I've had quite a few trips, and also I hunt. I've done some hunting. So in about year 2007, 2008, I got kind of bored of playing golf all the time, and I had to do something.
That's right.
So I started looking into it, and what I would do, we'll go back to the South Africa and the safaris. A lot of people would ask me, refer them to somebody who could set up safaris for them or hunts for them. So I did. I gave them their names, and one day I started thinking about, says, what kind of do this as a business and do it myself? And so I did. I worked hard. You had several things you had to do before you became a travel agent to qualify for it, and things to be doing that. So I really started in earnest in 2008 to this time. So I enjoy doing that, and most of my business is photo safaris to Southern Africa, to South Africa and Botswana and Zimbabwe, and those countries in South Africa, Southern Africa. So that's what I do. Now the hunting part, if somebody wants to go hunting, I know some outfitters I recommend to, and they handle that. I don't do the hunting part.
Okay.
But a photo safaris. But on top of that, I do other things a travel agent does. But that's my specialty is.
Okay. It sounds like now's a really good time to go to South Africa.
It's a bargain. It's never been like this I can remember. And the South African rand, their unit of currency, usually in the old days around 6 to 6.5 rand to the dollar. Now it's up to 17 rand to the dollar. So they price all the safaris in rand. So you can see you're going for less than 50% what used to do just 3 years ago. So it's a tremendous bargain. It's never been a better time to go.
And when you were talking to me about these safaris, it's not just, land in the middle of a desert and look for animal all day. I mean, talk about the wineries and the city and the history a little bit.
Well, usually we set them up. We always want to go to Cape Town, which to me is a pretty city in the world. And we spend 4 days there touring the Cape, touring the city, Robben Island, where Nelson Mandela was held. So there's a lot of things you can see and do there in a 4-day period. And also, one of those days we go to wine country, which is an hour and a half away.
Yes.
And doing visiting the wine country and wine tasting and all that. So that's that. And you do have the biggest part of is the bush safaris, going in safari, which people usually do for 2 or 3 days, seeing the animals. I mean, you'll be sitting in a Range Rover, and just about 3 feet from you, you'll be a pride of lions, eating a giraffe. That's how close you get to these animals.
Oh my gracious.
So it's
Okay.
fascinating.
Yes.
So, and there's other things to see too, just to that, They have the Garden Coast, which to me is prettier than Highway 1 in California, which is from Cape Town to Port Elizabeth, to drive. That's about a 4-day drive. So there's tremendous lot of things to see there. So, and my repeat people, they sometimes, and they want to go to Victoria Falls, on another safari, go to Botswana, go to Namibia or Mozambique, and then we have some that goes to East Africa, which is Tanzania and Kenya.
Okay, John, I'm sold. I would love to go on a safari. How soon, or I'm sorry, how far in advance do we need to book a trip like that with you?
6 months to a year in advance.
Okay.
Because I don't think people in our country realize how popular it is, because the country in Europe and Asia and Australians, that's the #1 destination. So the good places you're going to send people is already sold out. Like June, there's nothing available in June that I know of, and probably July, because that's their big season there. It's their wintertime. Their season's the reverse of ours. So that's a big season for them.
Okay.
So
Good to know. So it takes a little planning, just like anything else that's worthwhile in life. And thank you so much for teaching us more about this.
And the good deal about it, if I book somebody now, I can lock in that price a year and a half from now, even if the yen increases in value. So
That's right.
the price is locked in.
Okay. We'll give him a call, and I appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
We're on opening day and we love Lake Martin.
My name is Rebecca Waters. I'm the manager of Big B Barbecue in Alexander City, Alabama. We went for the rustic theme, and I think we nailed it pretty good. We do barbecue, of course. Every Friday night we have a steak night. You get a 12-ounce ribeye with a baked potato and a dinner salad for $17.99. We have seafood, we have wings, we have redneck nachos, which are amazing, and we also offer Colossal Burger. If you eat the burger in an hour, you get it for half off. It is a 2-pound hamburger with everything on it. Ketchup, mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, onion rings, pickles, cheese, and bacon. It weighs about 4 pounds, and you get a pound of fries with it. People that want to do the challenge, and usually it's just people that have a group of folks and they just split it because it's a lot of food for your money. Every day from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock we have a lunch special where you can do a meat and 3 or a meat and 2. We have homemade banana pudding, we have key lime pie, we have Priester's pecan pie. Right now we're doing some buttermilk pie, and we have coconut custard. So if you'd like to try the Colossal Burger, come on down. We are through the intersection of Highway 22 and 280 towards the Sportsplex. We'd be glad to wait on you.
Sometimes special people and a marvelous home combine to create a unique opportunity, and that's exactly what 82 Shadywood in sought-after, behind-the-gates Willow Point offers. This lovely estate is the perfect place to make memories. Tons of water frontage, long waterfront views, and an immaculate landscape yard makes this estate special. Huge rooms will hug you when you enter.
Each of the 4 oversized bedrooms and baths can serve as your family or friends' private oasis. Architectural features abound in every corner. The massive stack stone fireplace, wood trim, 18-inch poured concrete foundation walls, hardwoods, and areas to enjoy lake life are everywhere, inside and out. The gourmet kitchen overlooks the perfect porch party deck. Current owners have made their unique hobby-turned-business a museum of sorts in the full finished basement. It is an absolute must-see showstopper. Call me to see this or other homes on lovely Lake Martin.
We're opening day and we love Lake Martin.
Okay, so I've got 2 kids now that are in T-ball, 4 and 5.5, and they are so excited. Alex City is all abuzz. We are going to be living at the Sportsplex for the next couple of months. Who better to talk to about what in the world I'm supposed to know or not know than Raheem Ruffin, the swing doc.
In the house.
What? Where do I start? What am I supposed to do?
Well, the first thing is do something. A lot of parents feel like they don't know a lot about baseball, so they don't feel like they can train their kids. But as long as you get out in the yard and do something, it is better than nothing. Give them a target to throw at and give them not in the house, of course. Don't let them throw in the house because
Okay.
my kids are notorious about throwing things in the house. And I generally don't get on to them if it's a good throw, but if it's a horrible throw, then they get punished.
Love it.
So
Tip
out in the
number 1.
yes, so out in the yard, just get out there and first thing is make it fun.
Okay.
Just get out there and let them throw, catch, or hit as long as they want to do it. And then when they get at that age, when they get tired, stop. A lot of parents like to go 5 or 10 more minutes because they feel like in those 5 or 10 minutes they're going to make them an all-star, and that's not going to happen. So
Makes everybody just mad.
it does. So a few minutes out in the yard, have a bit of fun, and when they're done, be done. And that's it.
Well, what's your story? How did you get into baseball?
I've always loved the game of baseball. I'm the only grandchild of my grandparents of my maternal grandparents who likes baseball. So I'm the 4th oldest, so there's a bunch of them behind me.
Yes.
So I made them play baseball when we were younger. And I just always loved the game and didn't play any in high school. No high school, and walked on at Stillman College and played there for 3 years. And I didn't start playing baseball until I was 11. But what I just told you about doing something, the reason I walked onto a team and was able to start, I had spent many years throwing a ball off a brick wall and just catching it bare hand, throwing it in the air, catching it bare hand, finding a stick, making a ball out of tape, throwing it up and hitting it. And when I got to that team, I started, and that was 1987, telling my age, and I've just been at it ever since. They built a new stadium after I left. So that year, my last year there, we dug up the home plate from the field. Now this is a historic home plate. I took it home, put it in my mother's washroom, and one day I came home and it was gone. My mother threw my home plate away. Yes.
Not good.
Not good at all. She said I thought it was trash. Like, no, that was a piece of history. So.
And was that when you decided to devote your business to Proverbs 16:3? Tell us tell us about the Bible verse on your logo.
Well, 16:3. Whatever you do, commit to the Lord, and He will establish your plans. And I've pretty much just committed this business to God, and whatever He sees fit to do with it, I'm just along for the ride. And before each training, I always pray with the kids and ask God I committed to Him and ask Him to establish the plans for that training, because He knows way more about baseball than I do. So,
Okay.
so-
I like it.
and
I like it.
This is a God-ordained business as well, so.
And we've talked about that in the past, and I believe that, Raheem. Thank you so much for being here, and
Thanks for watching.